Roger, go for deploy.
Hey guys, welcome to Adventure Fit Radio starring Tom and Bill. This week on the show, we are talking about ourselves. Bill, what did you think of Shoot the Shit?
It was wonderful. It was glorious.
It was everything you would expect and more. We delved into the deepness of my mind and of yours. What else did we do, Bill?
We talked about floating for 45 minutes long.
In all seriousness, though, guys, we went on a lot more of a deeper road than we initially planned to do. I had some good, the bad, the science prepared. I mean, we started talking about my experience in a flotation tank, in the sensory reduction tanks, and it all went really deep from there, which is really cool. I think it's actually one of my favourite shoot the shits we'd ever done because it was super genuine. Hopefully you can get some stuff out of it, guys, and some feedback would be greatly appreciated too. Bill, kick us off with some sponsors, my friend.
Alrighty, guys. Today, we're sponsored by Audible. Check out www.audibletrial.com/ADVF radio to get a free 30-day trial with Audible and a free audiobook. So if you don't know what Audible is, if you've been living under a rock, then Audible is an audiobook warehouse. It has 250,000 titles. It's pretty much my favourite app. Podcasting app is my favourite app, and Audible would be second.
Yep.
If I didn't have those two apps, I'd be bored a lot of the time. I spend nearly every minute of my waking day listening to an audiobook or a podcast, just trying to learn shit, I suppose. And, it's great. So check it out, guys. And, sign up. You'll get a free audiobook, and then you'll be off and away. And then also we are sponsored by Adventure Fit Travel. So, Adventure Fit Travel, guys, we have Everest Base Camp coming up. Get behind that trip. It's going to be awesome. It's in September. Runs September through to October for 15 days. Perfect time to trek through the Everest Base Camp, Khumbu region. And you'll just make lots of friends on the way with the local guys and with all your adventure fitters.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Here's the show. Alrighty. So, what's been going on, mate? Tell us a story.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story to end all stories.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm no Socrates.
Lay it on us.
Well,
this is a big call, by the way.
This is huge. It's just a huge call. People don't like this.
You've fucked yourself right up.
No. Or have I unfucked myself? I don't know. All right.
To be unfucked.
Yeah, that's right.
That's Socrates, isn't it?
You never, he said to, that was him. It's late, mate.
So what's his story? For the listeners, Tommy's come in head full of steam, wanted to tell me all about his...
I was completely naked as well when I walked in.
All about his life, his story. What's going on?
I love telling you about my life, Bill. You're a good friend of mine, and it's always fun to keep me accountable, mate.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Sorry. Glad to know you got me there as well. I started floating once a week, and I'll float every Sunday night for around 8:30 to 9:30. Always try to do it in the dark. That's something I got from the great man Joe Rogan. Always said to do it in the dark when there's sort of less sensory input.
That's the idea behind it. Sensory deprivation.
Sensory reduction, they want to call it, because deprivation apparently applies negative connotation. But
deprivation means you're taking absolutely everything away.
Yeah.
And you've still got smell and hearing and whatever. So, okay.
That's right.
Doesn't have the same ring, but sensory reduction unit.
I'm going to go in a sensory reduction tank.
Yeah, all right. So you're in a float tank.
So I've been in a couple of float tanks. I've done it sort of 6 or 7 times now, probably 7 times. And I started learning more probably 2 weeks ago around the idea of introspective experiences. And when you really have as we said, fully reduced senses. What can really go on?
Fully reduced
senses. Yo.
100% slightly reduced.
Yeah, that's right.
Senses.
100%, 67% free sensory reduction.
Make up your mind, bro.
Sorry, man.
No, but I'm with you. I'm listening.
Yeah. So what can happen when you're just left with your mind or just left with your subconscious when there's absolutely no external input at all, and you can be taken to a pretty amazing place. And look, I like the whole spiritual side of things, and I like talking about that stuff as I'm sure we're all aware of. But I also like this stuff as well because it's applicable for the everyday man, woman, and child. And mate, I had a fucking epiphany when I was in there in the last one.
Tell me what happened, mate.
So yeah, I'm building this up.
I know.
Okay, so there was a couple of things going on in my life that I knew I wasn't too happy with, and I subconsciously obviously knew that as well. And,
so firstly, you said the other day though that you had a bad experience.
Really bad.
Is this before this one, or are you going to touch on that? Or
yeah, I'll definitely touch on that one. So the one that you just brought up then was quite an amazing experience. My mum and I just went for a tank, and that's how the cool kids call it. You just go for a tank.
Yeah.
And I was expecting
it's not
none
slang,
of it. Nah, I don't think it's slang. Having a tank.
Having a circle jerk with your mum.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, she's going to be listening to this.
Go on. Damn it, she is.
Yeah. Sorry, Claudia. So I went in there not expecting anything really. We had a nice meal, and the night before I'd gone out and had a fair crack on the beers and some other stuff. And I was neither here nor there about it. But I went into the tank, and I really fell into a deep, deep, deep zone. And my subconscious just let me know about it. Like, it was a really negative experience. I really, truly, it's kind of like a dream, but I remember seeing two deep, dark, sort of hooded figures standing over me, just like...
What, like the
way I explained it to Mum was...
figures,
the way I explained it to Mum was the Death Eaters from Harry Potter. They were standing over me.
I'm not a Harry Potter man.
Oh, yeah, you are not either.
Means
For all our
nothing to
Harry
me.
Potter listeners, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's pretty effed.
The Death Eaters.
The Death Eaters. Kind of like Grim Reaper
Are
sort
they
of
from
experience.
mates with the Slytherin boys? I know the Slytherin boys aren't
they're
the best lads
acquaintances. I
around.
wouldn't say they're best mates. I mean, they wouldn't go for beers every Friday, but they're, they know each other.
Okay, so hooded figures.
Hooded, deep, dark, hooded figures. And this is a legit story. And, I was freaking out. I had a huge, huge panic attack, and I was just nervous. I didn't really know what it was at the time. And it got me thinking throughout. So this was all last week, and it got me thinking about what that could have possibly meant, because that's in my brain. Somewhere that's concocted up from my mind. And I the way I've seen it was based on some of the stuff I was doing and some of the wrong decisions I was making. And spent a lot of time self-reflecting and meditating, if you want to call that, during the week. Getting some good sleep, training well, eating well, and I had another weekend this weekend that was going to be a big weekend. All my mates going out to like a cool festival, and I decided to stay sober for the whole day. Nothing in my body, just water, obviously, and a bit of food, because that's important. Enzymes, bacteria, all the black shit, it just basically, the way I see it is, Whenever you feel like in your gut something's right or wrong, you should go with that as opposed to what your mind is telling you. And I went for another float just this last Sunday, and I'm someone that's super scared to go. I hate the dark. I hate going inside my own mind because I'm scared about what's in there. And I had the most beautiful 1 hour experience of literally my whole life.
Really?
Literally my whole life. I remember walking in there and I was panicking and I was freaking out because I didn't want to have that experience again. I walked in there and I just had this beautiful feeling of clarity. Some things that happened. My mom was telling me that I should reach out to a few people and just,
So what do you mean? You keep saying, you said beautiful twice there. It's a very descriptive word, but you didn't really tell us. Like, what do you mean it was beautiful? Like, what were you thinking? What were the thoughts? What was going through in your mind's eye,
Yeah. So the first sort of 20 minutes, I was in a complete state of panic. I've had panic attacks before and, had some anxiety and stuff, and that was the worst I've ever had it. Because I did not want to go to that place again. I was really, really worried that I would be met with basically those hooded figures, I guess, again. Right. And I started going deeper and deeper, and the deeper I would go inside my own mind, the less panicky I got. There'd be moments where my heart rate would go down, because when you're in that sensory reduction environment, all you can hear is your heart rate, as you know. And there'll be moments where I'd be like, oh, it's actually not too bad. And they'd be like, oh, fuck, but what if, and then the heart rate would go up, and then it would sort of relax again. And then it would go further down. And after sort of 20 or so minutes or, whatever, because time's irrelevant, and there you've got no idea what time is, this huge feeling of, hey, man, just it was like my conscience just talking to me, just saying, hey, man, just chill out. You're on a really cool path here. You're always trying to better yourself, and you made some wrong decisions, but that's okay. And basically throughout it, every time I would go, oh shit, but this and this, this voice in my head would just go, just relax, man. It's, you're actually a really good person. And I had some definite visualization that happened on there. And the amazing thing about it was that the two demons were there, but they were just to the side. And I can see it in my mind right now. They were just to the side. And they were kind of like, hey, you know, we're here if you ever need us, just to, you know, keep it on the right path. But we're not really negative. Like we're just here to help you, and we want to make sure you're being true to yourself, being who you are, and on the right path. And tons of little things, little sort of epiphanies I had in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to do that, and things like, you know, it's just an amazing self-reflection experience. And I've been super positive, and I've had tons of clarity ever since. So. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Did you have anything to finish up?
I was just going to say that I think floating every Sunday night now to keep me accountable throughout the week is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
So how do you, because every time I speak to you about meditation and spirituality and getting in like kind of a flow state, or even this example like a float tank, for me, I can't seem to get myself there. You know what I mean? Like you talk about sleeping and getting to the state where you're sleeping so deep that you might have been releasing DMT and you're getting these very vivid dreams. I don't seem to be able to get myself there. So I don't understand. Like because I'm at the point now where, like I was telling you the other day, getting some anxiety again, and I just got all this fucking petty shit going on in my head. So I'm literally meditating every day, and I'm trying to get my head around it. And I've been doing it for a while, but I don't hit either end of the spectrum. So I don't ever get to this point where I'm seeing the devil or
seeing an angel or something,
an angel or hooded demons. I don't get to this low point, and I don't get to this high point where I'm just in ecstasy. I'm having these crazy dreams. I'm having these epiphanies. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. Just like, I suppose my spirituality or my mindfulness is like
we started
a
later.
chore. It feels like a chore. What do you think? Like, how do you think that you differ to me, and are able to get into these like whacked extremes?
I think, well, number one, I started meditating a good couple of years before you, I believe.
Definitely you did.
And I think the thing is, you said a really good point there before, where you feel like it's a chore. And for a good 18 months, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is so boring. Like, it just takes time out of my life and all this sort of stuff. But slowly, there's this guy called he's not a doctor, it's like Dan Harris, who had a panic attack on live TV, and he started meditating and it changed his life. He spoke to Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And he mentioned some really good points. And basically, every time you try to do some mindfulness meditation, you basically go into the gym. So like you go into the gym for your mind, and every little time you get better and better and better at it. And you start to, like, my experiences could be totally different from yours, man. But if it's a positive experience, whatever you saw or whatever you felt, it's a positive experience. And I think the real thing is what you have to keep doing. So mindfulness, for me and for a lot of people out there, allows you to get into these deep states, because the better you get at becoming aware and present and clear, the better you are at going really, really far down and losing all of this external input. You know what I mean? Like, the more you're present, the less these external inputs have a toll on you. But I just wanted to finish. Sorry, man. Every single time you're doing mindfulness meditation has 3 clear, simple steps. 1, sit in a chair so you won't fall asleep. 2, focus on your breath. 3, every time your mind goes away from your breath, recognize that and then focus back on your breath. That's all mindfulness meditation is. Don't do it to music. You can, but I don't, because I want to try and get rid of all that external shit, all that clutter. And the more you do that, the more you have those moments. So it's like, oh shit, I was thinking about this, and that's right. Oh, focus on my breath, and oh yeah, like who won the footy, and like, oh, that chick's pretty hot. And, oh, hang on, oh yeah, that's the breath. And the more you do that, you start to have bigger and bigger and bigger moments where you're just focusing on your breath, and that really helps. I think it should be a prerequisite. Don't just go into a float tank and expect to just, be one with yourself.
No, well,
and I'm not saying that I was either, but like,
if a lot of people can't handle float tanks.
Yeah, because
they can't handle their own thoughts. And for me, it was like that at the start, 100%. Yep. And like, even from time to time now, I get so frustrated. I want to go float. So I go float for because I want to keep my body maintained for weightlifting, basically. Yep. I still should be doing it to get as much, rest of the mind as I can, but I don't really. So I get that frustrated sometimes with floating because I try and do it once a week that I listen to stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like I listen to podcasts and stuff because
really?
I hate it when I close my eyes, I fall asleep, I wake up and I don't know how long to go.
Yep.
It like bugs me and irritates me and I get really... So I can't rest my mind. Having said that, I do understand what you're talking about a little bit with meditation and because I've been to a state where I've been through...
You have before, haven't you?
Well, I've just been to the point where I saw that it worked.
Yep.
I didn't get any transcendental experiences and I didn't have any epiphanies or whatever, but it cleared my mind.
Yes.
It went from 10 trillion thoughts and really negative stuff and not being able to control my breathing or my thought pattern to the point where I realized after 5 breaths in, 4 breaths in, 3 breaths in, 2 breaths in, and I realized breath by breath, I could feel the head space clearing. I could feel it decluttering myself, which is exactly what I needed at the time. And that was when I was about 3 months in or maybe 2 months in when I thought, all right, I'm going to keep meditating because I figured out that it works. I can find that it works. But for me, it's definitely not there. And I'm really hanging to get, I'm sticking with it because I just feel like as a 30-year-old dude, I was telling you the other day, I got so much petty thoughts going through my head. I'm fucking always working with Adventure Fit. I'm just always comparing myself to other people. Yep. Comparing my position to people more successful than me. Fucking thinking of just all this real selfish shit in my life. And
of course, yeah.
Fuck, I need And
it's really tough. Like and you've got like a lot of things that are, should be on your mind and all that sort of stuff. But it's just a journey, man. And I'm by no means, good at this stuff yet. Like I'm just starting on my own journey as well. But I can guarantee you that these experiences were real in the float tank. And after coming out of it, I sort of did some more self-reflection and wrote some stuff down. What I'll do now is I'll write some things that have been in my mind, and then I'll go into the float tank and sort of mull over it a bit, and then come out. And I've normally got a fair idea of the way I should go now. But people say it takes a long time to get into that state where you're just really comfortable being with your mind. Yeah. And I'm only sort of just getting there now, but I really feel like it's like you sound to me like you're kind of like that sort of like that nerdy, weedy kid going to the gym and he's like, fuck, man, look at that power throw over there.
Nerdy, weedy.
Yeah, we just shave your beard, man. You look a goose. I like it. But it's just kind of like, you're like 3 months in of going to the gym, you're starting to look a little more ripped, but there's like this massive bodybuilder over there and like he's like, your old timer.
Are you calling yourself the massive bodybuilder right now?
I'm not the massive bodybuilder. I'm the kid that's like...
You're the slightly less nerdy, slightly less
nerdy. Yeah, like I've got a nice beard.
You're with the 7 kilo dumbbells, I'm with the 3.5s.
3.5s. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I've got a nice trim beard and, my hair looks cool and you look like a bin.
I've still got peroxide in my hair.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And a lot of dandruff, It's just like, just like a bit of a journey. But, man, I'm so excited to have this exact conversation like in 6 months. I reckon
yeah, well,
we'll both be a little bit more
I'm at the point where I'm really impatient and I've been going through, like I said to you the other day, I've been going through such like the day-to-day for me. I was talking to my business coach Ariane about running my business and about the fact that we have to turn my business, Adventure Fit Travel, into something that I enjoy. And you talk about all the time with training, something you enjoy day to day. Yeah. Try and turn it into something that's not work. And that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that go to their job day to day and they hate it. They toil away because they need a wage, and that's fine. That's what I'm doing. But at the moment...
it's hard sometimes because you can say that and that sounds all beautiful and pretty and stuff. But when there's more resting on the success of the business, sometimes you've got to do shit that you don't enjoy.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just at the moment that it's very, very, very unenjoyable. Yep. And I think the only reason that it's unenjoyable is because I don't deal with stress that well at the moment.
Yep.
I'm really not dealing with stress that well. Like a little thing will happen. What's an example? So getting some clothing for the trip in the US has been a bit of a fuck around because I've got tons of clothes up in Sydney Tons of clothes down in Melbourne. I got people from China that can't put orders through because they can't access my website in China.
Yep.
All this shit's happening.
Little things, super
little things, but like
they can build up.
Stuff that you can work around, and it just fucking, I can't manage that stress because I got so much fucking debt and so much. Anyway, so I'm going to continue meditating, but I'm going to try and end of this year, I'm definitely going into Peru and trying ayahuasca only because I've done so much research on it, and it's psilocybin, so magic mushrooms, and then Tim Ferriss is investing a lot of money and funding through T-shirt sales, through his own, through his podcast, through all these little things that he's doing, and through basically just out of his handing money out of his own pocket
for psychedelics.
For study of psilocybin for anxiety and depression. And so, like, you hear people talk about ayahuasca and going in and feeling what your subconscious really wants to tell you and clearing everything in your mind, because I feel like, and I've got this shining light of ayahuasca in my mind that I'm just waiting for. I was talking to Jill about it the other day because I've had a real rough couple of weeks.
Sure.
And I was saying how I want to do it at the end of the year, and I'm going to be over there for my Mexico trip coming up and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's, day to day, she's a very, very happy person. Whereas day to day, when I'm in a rut, day to day, I'm not a happy person. But I think of myself, when I'm in this rut, that's not me, I think of myself, by and large, and people normally that don't know me that well think I'm the most outgoing, positive, loud guy. But I'm not, and it fucking frustrates the shit out of me. And
I remember you telling me that we were having this chat.
We're talking with Calm Porter.
Yeah,
the listeners haven't heard that conversation
that's a
yet.
great podcast.
Next week.
Go to the podcast website at Adventure Travel.
But it's like a Hail Mary. It's like that thing that I've got in the background that I'm just hoping will fix all my problems.
You know what? You'll probably, they say when you do ayahuasca and you've got some shit on your mind that you met with, like, you go to hell basically, and you go bang.
Yeah.
This subconscious is like, hey man, what the fuck?
And I think I'll definitely go to hell because I get recurring nightmares from shit that I did when I was younger that I think just totally attributes to these nightmares. Lots to do with just.
I really want to. So it's funny. You sound like you're like you're in this rut, and it's kind of like, I need ayahuasca to help us out. And I really feel like, at the same time, like, my biggest thing, because I had such a big anxiety of going into these states, because I was so nervous, because clearly there was something in my head that I needed to figure out. And naturally going through the stages of getting better and more experienced in meditation and then going to these float tanks, I still had these amazing introspective experiences. And now for the first time really in my life, I can say I've got pretty close to some true clarity, or I'm more self-aware than I've ever been. And I feel like I said to you when I just walked in the door, I don't have that anxiety anymore about doing ayahuasca and like doing like these trips, and I can really have a good experience from it. And I feel like you're kind of at a state where it's like you need ayahuasca, you need this stuff to help you out. I feel the other way
around, yeah. I'm just screaming for a little bit of that clarity because I had a conversation.
It's a journey though, man.
Yeah, it's a journey, but I mean, when the day-to-day is unenjoyable, I've never had, I don't think that I've ever had depression or anything too close to it.
Yeah.
But fuck, when the day-to-day is really, really miserable, but the thing is that I've got this ability with my life to take my laptop, travel the world and go overseas, but I've been doing that for the last 5 years, whether I had adventure travel or whether I did whatever. Like I went, when I started traveling through South America, I fucked off. I had tons and tons of debt. I had property, but I put it all on my credit card. I would come back, I would sell a house, pay my credit card off, rack another trip up on my credit card. Hadn't paid taxes in 5 years. Paid my taxes, by the way. I'm an upstanding citizen. Hadn't paid taxes for 5 years. There was tons of lost my license and then didn't worry about getting it back. I just pushed everything to the side and just wanted to live this nomadic lifestyle. Which is what I still. It fucking shits me because I still get the feeling that that's what I need to be doing. And I don't. Like, you
really say that every now and then. It really sounds like, it's your gut feeling telling you to do that, which is very significant.
I don't know whether it's my gut feeling or whether it's something that I should try and get over.
Okay.
Because I just feel like this ayahuasca thing and what I'm talking about with, really delving deep into my subconscious and having some clarity in my mind is because I don't know what to do with my life. I had this plan to go and gallivant around, but then I think about it, I'm like, fuck, I've done that.
Yeah.
All I really want to be is happy in where I am day to day. And right now, I've got a fucking amazing girlfriend. I've got my business is going all right, much better. The podcast is sick. Training's going well. But I've still got this ridiculous fucking urge that I can't get rid of. And I don't know whether it's in other people, or whether it's just me. I don't really know. Like,
do you write notes down? Do you keep a journal?
No, I don't keep a journal. But I feel like my friends that are all at the same stage as me, like for example, he travelled with me on three of my trips. South America, Central America, Europe. Little parts each because he was a school teacher. But he came away with me every single time. And then he got himself a missus, happened to be my ex-missus. Fucking
Oh, really?
No, but it's like from like 16. It's
all
funny,
cool, man.
Funny story. But
I had him.
But he's settled down and he's got a kid. Like we went around there the other day, me and Jill, and like I held his child, Jard. He's got a massive head. It's hilarious, little kid. But he's huge because Woz is this monstrous dude. He's gonna be a monster. But he just seems so content. But I just feel like
you never know what's going on in someone's mind, man. Like the social norm of being happy, equals family and kid and success. It's like, as you and I both know, it's not necessarily true happiness. And like,
but that is what I want at the end of the day. Since I was 20, probably 20 years old, 18 to 20.
Yep.
I planned my life out, and I reckon fuck the good, the bad, and the science, by the way. Let's just
yeah.
But I planned my life out after looking at a friend of mine, Duck, Trav Shaw. He was the captain of the
Why's his nickname Duck?
He was real good in the water. Yeah. No, I don't know why his name's Duck. Okay. But anyway, Duck got married at 28, had a kid by 30. And I just he was like my hero. He was like the best footy player. And I just fashioned myself off that. But so mentally, like I'd been keen and excited to have a kid and start a family and all that stuff. And it's still the case. It's still 100% the case. But like, I kind of just have this urge to go and fucking live like a 21-year-old backpacker.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to see the world. I want to fucking live like a 21-year-old backpacker.
Yeah.
Just not give a fuck about anything, travel around, like fucking party my face off, which I can't do anymore because my body won't let me do it. But
sure.
It's.
But I mean, I know like what. Yeah. If I was you, what I would do would be to keep meditating, write the notes down in my journal every day and just see what's on my mind because that can help me with clutter, and then smoke a shit ton of ayahuasca. And mate, it'll help, I reckon. I think I'm so pumped for you to do it.
Yeah,
I want to do it as well.
I'm excited to do it whenever hopefully come December. So
yeah,
hopefully that just clears my mind. Look, I just want to be like, I'm pretty good with what I've got going on now. Like it's a fucking pretty good setup that I've got in my life, and I just want to. I kind of want to get over the traveling thing.
Yeah.
I don't actually think it's healthy. I don't really want to be
you don't want to have that urge.
Nomadic dude. Like talking to Rusty the other day, and again, another podcast that you guys haven't heard actually for the listeners, Rusty Young, the marching powder author. And Rusty, he seemed like, because I felt like we were on the same wavelength, and he kind of seemed like,
there was definitely
He was admitting regret.
He definitely mentioned some pros and cons,
some
didn't he?
regret.
Yeah.
I feel like, I really feel like that. Because I was like, man, you've had the sickest life. We're so aligned, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned the fact that he's, 41 and he's not really where he pictured he was going to be.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, 100%, like I'm very passionate about traveling the world and making the most of your life and not, leave no stone unturned and 100%. But at the end of the day, for me, no fucking if, buts or maybes. Having a family and raising children is the number one thing that I think is the most important part of life and the thing that I look forward to most. So I don't really want to be that 41...
you could also think of it as, you don't necessarily have to have one or the other. You can compromise both and then have both,
Yeah, that's right. That's the... See, like I said, I'm been in a little bit of a rut. I'm probably speaking pretty negatively.
Sure.
Like my mum used to get on my back about it, but I always used to say to her, I'm going to be fine. I'm a good-looking enough dude. I'm a good person. I'm relatively successful at what endeavours I put my mind to. I'm going to be fine. You know, I'm going to sort it out.
Yep.
It'll be sweet. So, and that's how I genuinely do still think, but it's just the day-to-day, you know, I just don't want this fucking nagging bullshit of like wanting to be somewhere else, doing something else, you know, and yeah, it's...
I reckon, maybe next time you go for a float, just like, just give it a crack of just going low.
Give what a crack,
just,
mate.
Just give it a crack, mate.
Yeah. Can you be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, look, just give it a genuine crack.
Yeah, well, I did try the other day.
Hey, how do you listen to podcasts, by the way?
What?
How do you listen to podcasts? Do you put them on
In the float?
outside and then you just...
Well, it's pretty fucked because I had...
I go through an iPhone a week.
They set it up for people. They've got a AUX in each float in one of the places I go to, in each float room. So you plug it in, you put a podcast or music or whatever. So
that's cool.
People listen to music. I listen to podcasts. So what I had to do is I had to float my body and like spin my body and kind of press against the wall somewhat to like have my ear right close to the speaker. It's like this muffled through the water voice of
so like
fucking
one
stuff
side of your body's like super recovered, the other one's still got like terrible pain.
It's just like I'm slightly off. I'd listen to it that way, and then that sounded really shit. So I put my iPhone. I literally the other day I had my iPhone floating on a neck pillow. I'm like, nah, that's too risky.
It's bizarre.
That's too risky. So I just sit on I found a little shelf in there. There's like this tiny little shelf. So I would. It's funny though. I feel like I'm missing out on time to learn as well. Like when I'm listening to podcasts, when I don't have anything. Like if I've got in my car and for some reason. I know my podcast, like I don't know, like my Bluetooth isn't working or something, and I can't listen to a podcast well or whatever. I got a long drive. I feel like agitated. I'm like, fuck, I could be learning so much stuff or like getting, you know, so much good information in. So it's kind of because of that, but also because I just fucking go crazy in there. We've talked about float tanks for
a long
about
time now.
17 minutes.
Hey,
of this 30
one more thing. For me, when I really found that meditating was working, I remember, I'll never forget it. I was walking up to my house with some shopping. So like I'd just been to Coles and I was walking up with some shopping and a fucking bag just went bang and all the shit rolled down the hill.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, it's not the worst. And I'm just having like, it's not too bad. And then I was like, wow, I normally would be really, really upset about that.
Yeah.
And now every time like when
well.
someone like, perfect example, like it's clearly starting to get somewhere.
Well,
you know?
some days for sure I've definitely got the ability to just let things fly.
It's that peak and trough, but slowly ascending line, you know.
And it's kind of like
Move
the moment,
I'm a psychologist.
the moment the fucking 2-litre carton of milk splurts all over and splashes up on your leg, you kind of go, fuck. You go, fuck.
Yeah. You're like,
what a cunt.
Yeah. I'm not going to let that.
Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
But it definitely, it's a good place to be when you can, you know.
Definitely.
Anyway, we got
Chris Hadfield, don't we?
We got Chris Hadfield shortly. Well, we don't know when this show is going to come out, this one that we're listening to. So I think by the time the listeners hear this show, they'll have heard the Chris Hadfield show.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a great show, by the way.
Yeah,
you guys remember?
I remember that one.
When he told us about those aliens that he saw, he was flying past Jupiter. I think he was flying past Jupiter.
Yeah, he was
he mated with an alien, right?
Yeah.
He did quote mate. He mated with an alien.
Isn't he got a son that's half alien? I think it's the inspiration for the movie Alien.
Chris Hadglorp.
Yeah, that's right. Possibly the worst gag we've ever had on the show.
Hadglorp. It was pretty bad. What are the aliens off The Simpsons called?
Kanga and Kodos.
Kanga and Kodos.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll
Mated
speak
with
about that. As we've already done.
Excellent. All right, so...
Thanks for the chat, mate.
Yeah, that was pretty deep.
Yeah.
Anyway, listeners, that was just a little bit about me and Tommy, and I suppose the thoughts that go through people's minds.
Please give us some feedback as well, guys. I'd love to hear if some of you have gone through the same experiences as either myself or Bill, or if you got some negative stuff and you're like, you're a fucking idiot, Tom. You sound like a
I'm going to cop heaps of heat over that Hadglorp call.
Hadglorp call.
I'm going to stay in my lane, eh?
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
In fact, Alvin, take that shit out. No, just kidding.
No, leave it in. You and your chipmunks. No, we love you, Alvin. You do a lot for the show. All right. Thanks, guys. Speak to you soon. Alrighty, gang. That was our Shoot the Shit episode. I really hope you enjoyed that one, guys. It was nice and sincere and genuine. Like I said for the third time, we got any feedback? Give us some feedback. We love it. We hate it, but we love it. Alrighty, guys. the first thing you can do to support the show is to click the subscribe button on the iTunes page. So go to your iTunes, guys, whatever you do to listen to the show, and please click that big purple button that says SUBSCRIBE, subscribe. It's the best way that obviously we can get more listeners and get some guests you guys really want to listen to. If you wanted to get some information from the show, guys, you can go to our show notes page on www.adventurefittravel.com/podcast. It's got the show there, and then it's got the show notes down at the bottom. If you missed out on anything, we've got some links there, which hopefully will help you out. And while you're on the website, guys, why not join the mailing list to keep up to date with what I'm doing, what Bill's doing, what Adventure Fit Travel's doing, what all cool people in the world are doing. It's the best bang for your buck, team. As always, we are sponsored by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/ADVF radio to get a credit and a free audio book to listen to. Tons of stuff on there, guys. It's definitely worth your while. And obviously, we are sponsored by Adventure Fit Travel. There's a Mount Everest base camp trek, 15-day hike coming up. Bill, when's it again?
September through to October. Mid-September through October. September 20th starts.
Yes. Yes.
Again, you always throw to me when I'm looking at my phone.
I know. And what are you looking at there?
Thanks for that,
what's PORN hub.com? Yeah, right, okay.
What's Pork Hub?
Yeah, what's Pork Hub? Right, okay. Yeah, guys, go to ADVF Travel. All the info is on the website. Yeah, we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.